What's going on, Animal Crew? Stefi Cohens here. Today we're going to be talking about nutrition, specifically my nutrition and what I've been up to and what a typical day of eating looks like for me right now. So things have changed a little bit for me this year. With all the changes to the competition schedule, I decided to take a step back from powerlifting for the rest of the year and focus on some aesthetic goals that I've had for a long time that I've neglected, at the expense of performance. So I just want to challenge myself in a different way and see how diesel I can look. So my diet has changed a ton, as I previously mentioned. I went from focusing on eating for performance and just focusing on fueling my body to feel the best that I could for my training sessions to having to put myself in a calorie deficit and change in a bigger calorie deficit and change a little bit more about how my meals are constructed and what I eat on a daily basis. So for the time being, my current macros are 200 grams of protein, 140 grams of carbohydrates, and 60 grams of fat. And it changes a little bit. So during training days, I can eat a little bit more carbs. So I bump them up to 200 grams and I lower my fats to 45 grams on training days. Now, I'm gonna show you what my meals look like for the most part. For breakfast, I'm having 3 eggs, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 eggs, a glass of orange juice or half a glass of orange juice, depending on how hungry I actually am. If I'm not that hungry, then I'm gonna have the full glass. If I'm hungry, then I'm gonna save some of those carbs for actually food that's chewable. Gonna have a cup of berries, and I'm gonna have a cup of kefir. And probably add some sort of vegetable, whether that's some raw, what's this called? Pepper. Or some raw tomatoes, just for fiber and #health. So that's usually breakfast. I'm not that big in having to eat multiple small meals, so I try to just eat bigger meals, which has been a challenge for me with these new macros, because the protein amount is so much bigger than what I'm used to eating. So, but anyway, now for lunch and dinner, I'm just eating the same things because keeping it consistent makes it so much easier. One, to stick within the macros and the calories that I'm doing, and two, it just eliminates temptation. If you're just eating the same thing over and over again, then I tend to crave less things outside of the diet if I just stick to one simple thing. So this is usually how I meal prep my foods. They're all the same. Okay, so my meals are composed of a cup of rice, 10 ounces of 93% lean ground beef, a bunch of spinach cooked, mashed into it, 1 egg, some carrots, and then when I warm it up, I put in some bone broth on top so that it gets a little bit more moist and it's not that dry, and so it's easier to digest and to bite and to finish the whole thing, because to me this is a lot of food. And then sometimes I throw in some kimchi, again for gut microbiome health. And if I'm hungry, maybe I'll have another vegetable to just fill myself up a little more. Okay, so it all depends on the time of the day that I start consuming my meals. If it's a day that I woke up early and I started eating earlier, then likely I'm gonna wanna have a snack before training or just in the middle of the afternoon. And what snack I have really varies. I leave that kind of open-ended based on, how hungry I am and what I feel like eating. Now let's go through my snacks. Again, depends on really what I'm craving, whether or not I'm training immediately after, or how hungry I am. But these are some of my go-to snacks. So these are incredible. These are kind of just thin, crispy, really crunchy crackers that I like to have with turkey breast and with cheese, manchego cheese, highly recommended. So that's one right there. This one is probably my most common one. Do Greek yogurt with some nuts and berries, really high in protein, some fat, some carbs. This is another bomb combination. This is really easy to just keep in your purse if you get hungry in the middle of the day. Not so high, not high at all actually in protein, but just kind of a little pick me up to curb your hunger. A couple handfuls of nuts, a few slices of organic dried mangoes. These are delicious. So that's it for snacks. I mean, it's not it for snacks, they change. I'm a big snack gal, but these are just some good ones. And again, like I said, for dinner, same thing as I had for lunch. 10 ounces of ground beef, 93% lean, some espinaca, some spinach, some zanahoria, some carrots, an egg, and a cup of rice. Finally, for dinner, in order to hit those 200 grams of protein, I usually make myself a protein powder, a protein shake, and at that time, before going to sleep, I also take my supplements. These are some of the ones that I've been taking regularly. So I do 1 or 2 scoops of protein powder depending on what the status of my protein is for that day. Mix it with frozen berries, makes it really delicious. Usually just frozen blueberries. Frozen blueberries and some water. Mix in, is this the powder? Yeah. Pack powder, you barely taste it. And this is the newest thing that Animal have come up with. It's an immune pack. Fits in perfectly with, protecting yourself now, trying to boost your immune system as much as possible. There are 2 things that I add in there. And then take Animal Flex for your joints. So that's it. That's what my current diet consists of as I prepare for either a bodybuilding show or a magazine cover. I still don't know exactly what I want to do. I'm a little bit apprehensive to stepping up stage and being judged based on my looks, because that's something that I've been fighting so much against. I do understand that it's the nature of the sport and have nothing against it, but just feel a little bit apprehensive about it. If not, I'm still curious to see how lean I can get, and I'm 100% committed to this more bodybuilding oriented diet and training style. So hopefully, I'll give you guys an update in a couple months from now, show you maybe some progress and some physique progress and diet progress to see how I'm doing. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please drop it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to every single one of them. And if not, you know where to find me, at Stefi Cohen on Instagram and on YouTube. And thank you guys for watching and for your support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.